years ago, hi Bryce. I was 4 years ago, I was sitting where you're sitting, listening to an alumnus, much like I'm doing right now, stand up here in front and give the same career talk that I've heard over and over, time and time again. Follow your passion. Fake it till you make it. Find something you love doing and you'll never work a day in your life. Not only is all this stuff hokey, but it's horrible career advice, which led me to ask the wrong questions in my most gullible and confused state as a graduating college senior. Now fortunately, after doing some reflection, consulting some friends and family, and really just doing a whole lot of research, I was led to the one true essential question that I should have been asking myself in the first place, which is what type of person do I want to be? Not what occupation, not where I want to live, not how much money I want to make. Who do you, as a living, breathing human being with emotions and a beating heart, want to truly become as a person? And so when I looked at it through the lens of this question, the answer became crystal clear to me. I had to work for a toilet paper company. I currently work at Who Gives a Crap. That's not a joke. People think that I'm being rude whenever they ask me where I work. I currently serve as the internal communications lead as part of the people and culture. So a little bit of background so you know where I'm coming from. We are a profit-for-purpose social enterprise. We're not a nonprofit, we're not an NGO. We're actually for-profit, but we're profit-for-purpose. Okay? We make eco-friendly products, and we donate 50% of our profits to help fund sanitation projects around the globe. We've got really big goals. Big, hairy, audacious goals, in fact. Our BHAG is for everybody on planet Earth to have access to a toilet and clean water by the year 2050. So that's huge. That's really ambitious stuff, because that's within our lifetime. So how did I get here? How did I land in this unicorn of a company? Believe it or not, all roads lead back to my upbringing right here in the PM department in ACTM. I joined a lot of orgs back in the day, but my experience in PM stands head and shoulders above the rest in the sense that it's where I learned the most about myself. A couple of highlights for you. PM is the place where I validated my decision to run for presidency the year after. It's where I got criticized by a lot of people, which led to a lot of introspection, let me tell you that. And it is also where I got into a near-death car accident. Right here, actually, outside along the wooden flyover. Because I was trying to cram in work for ACTM's year-end party night. So don't do that. So after all that, you could imagine how big of a part PM has played in my life when it comes to answering the question of what type of person do I want to be. So after giving that question some thought, some answers sprung to mind. First, I want to be the kind of person who is kind, and it's a joy to be with. Somebody who radiates with positive energy. I want to be the kind of person who is responsible and disciplined. Somebody that you know you can count on whenever I say, Roger that. Which, by the way, is super cool. I learned this recently. Roger that is an acronym that stands for Receive Orders Given, Expect Results. I want to be the kind of person who is self-assured and comfy in their own skin. Someone who has a strong set of values, ethics, and a solid belief system. Because you know what they say, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. And lastly, I want to be the kind of person who is a lifelong learner. Someone who is open to rethinking his views, someone who's big on growth and personal development, really channeling that energy to lift other people up, giving them access to opportunities, resources, really just making people feel seen and heard. So that is a really tall list. And you may be wondering what any of this has to do with career, but stick with me for a moment, okay? The short and sweet answer is that working at Who Gives a Crap allows me to tick all those boxes. But the longer answer involves a little bit of math. So let's crunch some numbers for a bit. Assuming you start working by the age of 25, and retire by the age of 65. That's very standard for a lot of people. And assuming you work 8 hours a day, that's 40 hours a week for 50 weeks a year across a 40-year working life. If you multiply all those numbers, you will get a whopping 80,000 hours. That's a huge amount of time. That's 1/3 of your life. 1/3 of your life you're going to spend working. The second third of your life, you're going to spend sleeping, hopefully. And the last third in your life, you're going to spend doing everything else. That's mind-blowing when I found out this fact. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person that you wish to become. This means that your career is not only going to be a major driver of your happiness, it's also your best opportunity. It's your best shot to live out the kind of person that you want to be on a day-to-day basis. The reason this question is so important to define, and I cannot stress this enough, is because once you have a clear picture of who you want to be, your purpose just flows out of it. Other people's expectations go away. Those things like money and status, they fall to the wayside. And you just become laser focused on building the life that you want to build and one that you can be proud of. The good news for everybody in this room is that you are the most qualified and best equipped person to answer this question. Not your parents, not your best friend, not your dog. Because they're not you, I'm not you, you're you. And who better to answer this question about who you want to be than you? So let's put that to the test, shall we? Let's do a little life design workshop. So, at Who Gives a Crap, we are big on design thinking. For those who are not familiar with what design thinking is, it's basically it's very similar to IMC, for those in Comtech, Integrated Marketing Communications. It's a design process from ideation to execution, and it involves being agile. Like seeking feedback early and often, iterating quickly, failing fast, learning quickly. And to better illustrate my point, there's a framework we like to use called the 0, 10, 50, 99. And I'm going to use the Mona Lisa example. So for today's workshop, we are going to focus on 10% stage, which is about exploring all the options. So the 0% stage, we're done with that, because 0% is about defining the problem. The problem statement being, what type of person do you want to be? Now we're going to explore all the options. Something I want to stress here before we get to the nitty-gritty. Now is not time to obsess over the details, or to nitpick. That will come later, the 99%. Dito pa rin tayo, 10% na lang. Okay? So I think all of you have your worksheets. Do you? Yeah? So you'll see in your worksheets there are next slide please, 3 sections that go vertically down. And what you want to do is work your way from top to bottom. At the very top, you're going to complete the statement. I want to be the type of person who plan. Try not to cram that much ideas into one sentence. That's why there's 3. And then under each statement, you're going to map out all the possible ways in which you think you can bring the identity to life. You could write, draw, sketch, whatever. It's an open space. And then you're going to wrap up at the very bottom by trying to write what careers you think can bring each of the above to life. So no need to get specific, just work with what you know for now. 10 minutes, have at it. Break out into groups of 2 or 3, wherever you're next to. Keep it really small, para di na kayo gumalaw. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So you did 3, right? Choose your favorite and then talk about it. Go! Outside of this workshop and continue it there. Before I end and move on to Q&A, some post-workshop commitments that I want to suggest that I think would be helpful for all of you. Keep the worksheet, store it in whatever format feels comfy. You could store it digitally, keep the actual paper, up to you. Second, use it in your career discernment. I know some of you are seniors, some of you are sophomores. There's a mix here in the room, so you'll never know when you want to use it. So just use it for that when it's time. And lastly, refine and iterate as you live out the rest of your life. Very, very last thing, if you want to picture the slide and save that link, I compiled some resources that I think might be really useful. This is a mix of resources that I made myself, but also like books I read, websites, everything. It's a hodgepodge. So yeah, look into it. It really helped me in my career discernment.